guys. Alright, so in this part of the video we should be dealing with the last part of this project. So we're going to be working on this change password within the application itself. It's like I said in the previous part of the last part, we don't really need to do this part just to complete the project. Let's just complete it. So we're practically going to do what we did within the last 3 videos, but in this video it should be much simpler because there's not a lot of process. So when the user clicks in, it's going to display that very same change password form that we were working with within the last 2-3 videos. So without wasting any time, let's get to it. So I'm just gonna click here, stop the server, and then I'm gonna copy this form that we have within the change password password.jsp file, right? So basically this one here, we're gonna copy everything that we did in here, and then I'm gonna create another file called update password. Right, I'm gonna paste it in there so we can remove the 2 fields, the token fields. We're not gonna retrieve the token. Everything else will need to stay the same except this part here. So this is going to be app update. Wait, what happened there? This is going to be update password, app slash update password. It's going to be a post method as well, and then everything else will stay the same, right? So don't think we need to change anything. Okay, so we have the update page created. Now if we come into our dashboard, right, we have the change password one. We need to just change that to update app update password. Let's change this, and then I think this needs to change. Oh no, it doesn't need to change, it stays like that. Let's go back to the update password. Now when we click back, this needs to take us back to the dashboard page, so we're just gonna say app dashboard. So again, yeah, so this will take us back to the dashboard page, and that's it. So now I'm gonna come here within the app controller, and then I'm gonna create those 2 methods within here. So the first one is obviously gonna be the get mapping. So if you saw within those pages the links that I created, for example the app.dashboard and the app.update, right? Remember, within our app controller the request mapping starts with the app, so that's why I had to do that. So but within here we're just gonna say update password, I believe you can change this. All you have to do is say update while we are at it, we might as well just change this part right here. Okay, So let's quickly see if we can view that page. Right, coming back here, I'm gonna sign out. Right, so by the way, remember I saved the password within the browser, so that's why automatically you see it there. So if obviously if you didn't do the same thing, you would need to always put in whatever email you've created and put in whatever password you've created as well. I'm gonna sign in. So if I click here, it should take us to the app dashboard page, and as you can see, it's giving us the exact same what you call it, view, right? But if I click back, it should take us back to the dashboard, right? So if you want to change or update your password, in fact, we can even change the naming of that, right? I can close this. We can change the naming of that. Instead of change password, where's the two buttons? So instead of change password, we can say update password, right? Okay, but before we get to that, so we practically have everything that we need. We just need to slightly change a couple of things. So let's create the post method before we get to that. So again, we need three parameters. In fact, I'm gonna go to change password controller because we're gonna need the exact same fields, which is these three parameters over here. I'm gonna copy those and then I want to paste them in there. Okay, so we obviously need to validate right. So like I said, we have everything that we need. We're just validating these three fields. Obviously, we can pretty much use the same change password validator for class that we created. So we can just say change right, and then we can place in the three fields: current password, new password, etc. All right, so obviously we're gonna say if validate dot get errors. Obviously, if the errors are not empty, then we're gonna redirect the user. So I'm gonna copy this, paste here. We're gonna redirect them back to this page, and then we're gonna send form errors. All right, and then I guess that's pretty much it, basically. what else do we need? So if it passes the errors, oh yeah, there's something else I need to add here. So we need to add the HTTP servlet request. So we're gonna say request, right? Up here we need to add the HTTP session. Okay, right? And then what else? That's pretty much it. So now right, so we're gonna say this dot session equals to request dot get session, right? Okay, so now remember the user is logged in at the moment, so we're gonna use that user's email to get the current password, right? So remember in the change password one we were using the token and code. In this situation we're going to use the user email. How are we going to get the user email? From the current session. So how do we get that? So remember when we log in, when we are signing in, there's a user session object that we're setting. So this basically sets the user name, first name and email. So we are going to use that to retrieve the password. So if I come back into let's close this, let's close the auth one, and yeah, so now what we need to do is we need to get that session, that user object. Alright, so we're gonna say this, we're gonna say user equals to this dot session dot get attribute, and then that attribute is going to be user. So there's a user session object that we created, and then we're going to also need to cast this to a user object. So now, like I said, this is being set through that auth like I just showed you. Alright, so now we can get the password. Let's say string. So we're gonna say, do we have that? I think we do have that. So we're gonna say get db password by email. Yeah, we do have that. So we can come here and say oh yeah, we need to import the user service. Say user dot get email. So again, this user dot get email, we're getting it from here. Right, so now we're going to use that very same functionality that we used in the change password controller. So here we're going to check to see if the passwords match. If they don't, they don't, we are obviously gonna redirect back to the user back to there. So again, I'm just gonna copy what we did here within the change password controller. So I came in here, and then I'm gonna just copy this part because it's practically the same thing that we're gonna do there. So I'm gonna paste that there. So obviously I'm gonna just change this to this one here that we have, and then validate.get current. So yes, we're getting the current password. Obviously we're using the same object, so that should be fine. And then we need to change that to update password. Right, and then current password is incorrect or whatever, and then from there, if all is in order, you can proceed to change the password. So now we're gonna firstly hash a password. Hash new password. So this is going to be and then obviously we need to get it from the validate dot get new password, and then that's the new password. Alright, so I don't think we have a method where we can update the password yet using the user email. So I'm just gonna come here and quickly add that. So this one is just gonna be int. So here we're gonna say param, and then what do we need? What should I call this? I think I should name it password. And then we also need the email. Let's change update to that equal to now. Alright, so that should be it. So we're just changing the password, so, and then we're using the email to do that. Alright, let's name it properly. So user service. go back to the app controller. So here we can say equals to user service dot right. So what we need is the hashed new password, and then we're gonna say user dot get email, right? And then I'm just gonna come back here. I'm gonna check for result set. It's not there. I'm gonna come back to the change password controller. I'm just copying this block of code here, and then just gonna paste it there, right? Otherwise, if everything is fine, we are gonna redirect the user back to the updated password update password page, right? And then obviously it's gonna be success instead of error, and then we're gonna say password Alright, I think that should be it. Yeah, should be it. Now, normally this type of thing, I would basically clear the session, sign out the user, and make them sign in with a new with their new password. But it's gonna be tedious. We could do it, but um, I think for this project, this should be fine. End of all right, I think that's pretty much it. So oh, there's another thing I want to change. There's something else. Oh yeah, so I'm here in the update password.jsp file, right? Our view, this one. So here the page title, I want to change it from change password, right, to update password. And there's something else I also want to go back to. So remember when we created our message helper, the text here where it displays the password, it was coming off what you call it, it was looking weird. So what I want to do is I want to change the color. So I'm going to add a class. I'm just going to type it in, class, and then this is going to be, so I have to escape this, escape that as well, and then I want to say so hopefully that fixes it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all the changes I wanted to make. So let's quickly run the project again. We actually haven't even tested. Okay, what's wrong now? Control unsatisfied dependency through error. Okay, I made a mistake somewhere again. Okay, I forgot to set this as a native query again. I keep forgetting that part, I don't know why. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, so I'm gonna sign in again, and if I click here, we got update password, and if I submit, our validations still work. Alright, so currently the password is password 1234. So I'm just gonna say password 12345. Oh no, sorry, 1234. The current password should be 1234, and then this one should be okay, let me change it. Let me say new password. New new capital P password 123. So this is what I've turned my new password into. New capital P password 123. I'm gonna do the same thing here. New. Alright, should be the same. Alright, let's submit. Password updated successfully. Let me update that. I'm gonna go back, sign out. If I try and sign in with the current one, actually no. I'm gonna type it in now. New. Alright, as you can see, that's the new password. I'm gonna sign in, and as you can see, I can sign in and sign out. Now, for one last test, I'm gonna click sign up. I'm gonna register with a different person, so I'm gonna say Steven Henderson, something like that. I'm gonna say Steven Henderson. Right? Did I spell it right? I think I did. And the password is gonna be password 123. Password 123. So now remember, when signing up, we should get an email to verify our account. So I'm gonna click sign up, and then our application should send an email. And then, as you can see, registration successful. Please check to verify your account. If I come back here, we should get an email to verify our account. When I click there, verification successful. I can go then to sign in. Again, if I go and click that very same link, now we get an error, because why? That token and code has been cleared. It shouldn't be within the database. So we should have a new user now, which is Steven Henderson. Alright, so now I'm gonna log in with Steven Henderson. Right? Steven Henderson at example.com. Password is 123. If I sign in, as you can see, I've signed in with the new account. So so it looks like our application at the very least is working. We can sign out, sign in, we can update passwords. We can, if you have forgotten your password, you can put in your email there, submit. We're gonna get a new password being sent, and a new notification being sent. So I'm gonna say sign out. Sign in. I'm gonna come here. So if I check here, looks like our text didn't change, but it's fine. I'm gonna copy that current password. Right. I'm gonna click change password. There we have it. To verify, as you can see, we have our token and code, and then I'm gonna paste the current password. I'm gonna say password 1234. Then I'm gonna submit, sign in. Why exactly is the success page showing empty messages? Oh, but I am sending up. Okay, it's fine. Let's sign in with the new password. 234. Okay, it works. Alright guys, so that's it for the project. I know it took longer than I anticipated, but again, for those of you who stayed up until this point, I really appreciate the support. Please don't forget to hit the like button, share and subscribe, leave a comment. I don't always respond to comments, but I do see them, I do read them, and then some of the comments are encouraging, so leave a comment if you need to. If you don't want to, it's fine. But again, I'll see you guys within the next project. Again, I appreciate the support. I hope you learned something, working with Spring Boot and all of that. And then yeah, like I said, I'll see you guys within the next project. Thanks again, and cheers for now.